So we got a different coffee today. Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee Talk. And I'm noticing that this coffee comes with a fun game.
First thing out of the gate, it's not doing well because it does come with a nice sleeve. It's very Christmassy and festive, and that's wonderful. And yet you pull it up and you think it's going to stay, and 2 seconds in, it does not stay.
That's okay. It's festive. And I was already making a joke about how it doesn't say Christmas. And so, because I know that's important to some people. But you know what I want to do? Okay, so this is, I got to take this off or we're never going to be able to do anything. All right, it's okay. My hands are cold anyways. So this is from Sonic Wash. You know them for their froyo. You know them for their price, any size slushies.
50% froyo.
Yes, okay.
Nobody knows them for their
full price. No, it's not. Okay, so I've said this before, I'm sure in this setting. I've said it many times. I don't even do the 50% for it. I go to the freezer in the corner and I get the $2. Sometimes they have so much, it's $1. And if I knew when that day would be, my freezer would be nothing but little pints of froyo. But anyways, you get the $2 tub of froyo, and then you go home and you load your own toppings onto it. And it's just as good. And it's way less. But I'm also not a mix the flavor kind of guy anyways. Like,
really?
I would go to the froyo bar, and I might, if I think there's two complementary flavors that I'm jazzed about, I might get a little bit. But it's the same thing when I go for hard ice cream. My kids are like, oh, we want two different flavors. Sheena the same. I'm like, no, I want one. I want to find the one thing I like. I just want one cone of that today. And some other day I'll come back and get a different flavor.
I think if you can find that very rare occasion where the two might really go together well, then I think, it's always worthwhile. I'm not a huge mixer. Our kids are like mix. But if you can find two that are good. So I actually like chocolate with like maybe some kind of cherry, because it feels like you're eating Black Forest cake then.
And that's good.
And those kinds of combinations are cheesecake and something.
Chocolate or coffee and chocolate. Yeah. Coffee.
Yeah.
Like that. I might do that. As a kid, I was the swamp water guy too, right? You'd go to the restaurant and you'd get the cup and you'd be like, everything. And then I realized Coke is the best. Why would you get anything else but Coke? And, you get to your thing.
Amen to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyways, it probably doesn't bode well for the coffee that we've talked about so much. All the better stuff you can get at the same location.
But that's the whole point, is that, like, would Sonic become known as, like, oh, they have good coffee?
Okay.
Right? Because we know them for their froyo. We know them for their car washing ability. We know them for, they have good Wi-Fi.
Free vacuums.
Vacuum. Well, only when you wash.
Yes. Oh, that's what I mean. Right. Get a wash. But here's the thing. The wand wash, what's the minimum there? $2?
Yeah.
So I will roll
in the vacuum?
So cheap.
That's okay.
I roll through that. I'm like, I'll just spray the stuff off, and then the worst of it off, and then go and vacuum. Because when you have 3 children, and for some reason you let them eat in the vehicle, like today, I fold down the back seat of our minivan, and it's just like, I was shocked. I'm like, how are possums not living in here? Because they would totally survive. I'm like, there's so much food and garbage on the floor back here.
Raccoons.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, because I was loading tires in, I'm off to get a tire change here in a bit. But so I'll do that. Like $2, just rinse off the mud and then vacuum. That's what's more often than not needed.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the coffee for a second, which is passable. But here's what I want to do. They have 2 different coffees.
See, now this complicates things too.
This does. So I want to know if you can guess which region this coffee is from, as a little test. So
from the West Kelowna region?
Yeah. No. Where do you think the beans were grown? They had 2 regions, both similar. So you're not. But where do you think? Like, where in the world would you guess this coffee was from?
I would guess this would be more like a South American.
Okay. You're not far. The other one was South American. This is Mexican.
Oh.
I chose for us the Mexican this morning. It boasts itself as more of a medium body blend, which I would not call this medium.
No, I actually think it's pretty strong. I actually like it.
Yeah?
I would take this over Tim Hortons.
Yeah. I was about to say it's a little... It's... There's something missing.
I love that you're like licking your lips to
because
check.
it's not the taste, it's the texture almost. Like, you know how sometimes coffee you'll have and you'll be like, okay, this is it's not just a fuller flavor but a fuller feel. And this almost feels like they took filtered coffee and then refiltered it, if that makes sense. Like you're pouring your coffee through multiple flavors until all that's left is just, it's as thin as can be. That's kind of what it feels like to me. So is it passable? Yes, it's fine. It's coffee. Let's be honest. It's coffee. It doesn't taste bad. But it doesn't have a richness like some other places do. So would I choose it over Tim Hortons? Yes. Yes, Tim Hortons. I hope you're listening.
Yeah.
Stop calling yourself Canada's favorite coffee. That's my beef. Every time. We know that we set this up to be like news and information on what's going on in Lakeview Heights Baptist Church during this whole year, season of transition and pandemic and quarantine and everything. And you're probably noticing that this is turning into how many coffees are better than Tim Hortons, and that's not intentional. It's just
so our response to that is like, comment, and subscribe.
Tell us which coffee you'd like to know our opinion of next week, and we'll see. Anyways, I will say this. I do think my favorite coffee in town, brewed coffee in town, is the Bliss Guatemalan. If you're just now, you'll go into Bliss for a whole lot of other reasons, but just their Guatemalan, I like it a lot. Like we'll go there and people be like, oh, I'll get a latte, I'll get whatever. I'm like, no, just give me the Guatemalan, just give me the drip. It's really good. So maybe we'll have to go there next. Okay. Anyways, we will give you our opinion of whatever coffee you suggest, and we'll tell you why we think it's better than Tim Hortons next week. Anyways, you know what? We need to move. You know what? Okay, just we got church stuff to talk about in a second, but something else happened in the last 24 hours. I was scrolling through the socials, and I saw this meme someone posted, and it said, accidentally Googled Pastor Yoda instead of Master Yoda. And I thought, and there was a picture of like Yoda in a suit. So then that's
where the Jedi robes come from, maybe.
That's right. So then I very intentionally Googled Pastor Yoda. Disappoint, it did not. It is just like, it is so, it was a good 10 minutes of just.
So there's another one for you.
Oh my goodness. A lot of like Bible verses, as if Yoda was reading them to you or speaking them. It was,
I think. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Bible has been translated into many languages.
Yes.
The Bible has been translated into unknown languages as well too, like Klingon,
right?
And
Australian.
Not unknown, Australian. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there was one called The Jesus Book.
Oh yes.
Not The Jesus Book.
No, I heard
The Jesus Book. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we should be reading.
No, we shouldn't be reading it that one. But like,
white guy,
but it's another communication tool. It's also translated into Klingon, and I bet you, out there somewhere is
Yoda speak.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll find it. Maybe that'll come up in an episode of The Mandalorian or something, and
maybe
Baby Yoda will go to Sunday school. Anyways, let's talk about church stuff, because there is stuff happening here at Lakeview Heights Baptist Church, and it's just good to touch base on that. I think we've mentioned it a couple times, but the ladies' Christmas event coming up. Susan's going to come on next week and give like the official word and all that, kind of answering questions that are out there and everything. So we're not gonna say anything that she will have to correct next week. I think that's why. So we're not ignoring it. We just I don't want to misspeak, and but pay attention next week and you'll get it all straight from her. So that's going to be really good.
Yeah. The other thing that kind of happened without happening and without us announcing it, and we realized that we didn't announce it, but I kind of hoped for a soft opening, was this last Sunday on November 15th. We actually went live in this room. We did everything that up to this point, between March 17th and November 14th, between that time, we would always record on a Wednesday night with the band. We would do our thing, and then we would do a sermon recording with Steve Bailey, Chris, whoever, on a Thursday, and then Friday we would kind of put that all together, and that's why you kind of saw the way it was. Yeah. I get it, everybody kind of clued into that. Well, we just decided that, we have a lot of these other things in place. We have a lot of our technical stuff in place. Yeah, we probably needed a little bit more practice, going through it. But this last Sunday we went fully live because it was really important to us to be able to get to that point where we could actually just gather, do our thing, just like before. Yes, scale down in size, and I think that's really important. But also not change the quality of what we were doing, because I truly do believe that we need to, if we're going to communicate to the whole world through YouTube, through social media, whatever it is needs to be done well. Yeah. If it's not done well, we might say it's to the glory of God, but it's not our best offering. It's not our best ability to be able to praise God with all that we are. And in a lot of that, people can miss completely the gospel or the clear communication that we're trying to give of who God is and what we're about and all that stuff. If the sound is off or the whatever, some kind of distraction. If we can put all that aside and we can do it well, I think we clearly communicate and show people this is who God is, and this is who He cares about, and this is how He changes us, and this is what His Word is, and we can get to that point really quickly when we do it well. Yeah. So that's a long way of saying that's what we've been waiting for this whole time. Yeah. And so this last Sunday, just to make sure that we could do it and that it would work okay, we kind of did a soft opening this last Sunday. And so what that means now is we're not going to do it like before, but we're kind of back to normal as normal can be.
As normal can be. That's a great way to put it. It felt in some ways like a normal service. Yeah. I mean, sure, we've got, like, if you were to look around the room right now, you'd be like, I don't recognize an aisle. I mean, there kind of is one over there, and they're they meander. You're like, okay, so there's pods of chairs and they're far apart. That's just as normal can be right now. Here's what's not changing anytime soon. Signing up to come. Yeah. Right? We don't see any way around that. It's not going to be a just show up for church. A few weeks ago, maybe a month and a half now, time is relative these days. It still is. Someone was making the comment, and by someone I mean a pastor on Twitter. These are who the people I hang out with. Made the comment about how Sunday morning attendance is a Saturday night decision.
Yeah.
And
for some people, yeah.
Yeah, for most people. I think that in the days of having to sign up to come to church, it's almost now a Wednesday evening decision. Yeah. And that's what we would encourage you on, church, is that there is limited space available. Yeah. And because of the fact that the province isn't removing a 50-person cap anytime soon. Yeah. And we don't want you to come on Sunday morning and then get turned away. And
which is a reality.
Which probably should have happened this last Sunday. We had a few, and we understand that this is new and this is challenging, so we don't want to have to send anyone away. But it's coming really to that point where it's going to happen, and so we encourage you to sign up early.
And with that, we've already put out on. You can find it on Church Center app or lhbc.churchcenter.com. Yeah. Go there and you'll find all this stuff. But we've put out all the services from now until I think Christmas. Mm-hmm. So you could actually be signing up already for December 5th and saying, okay, I might not be able to come in the next few weeks, but I know I can get to that one. Or by the time this comes out, or by the time word is starting to spread, that these are all full for the next few weeks, because that's the reality that we're going to have to be dealing with now, is having very full services and capping that limit and stuff like that. You'll also remember too that we put a survey out to the congregation, to just talk through some of these things. And already in the back of our minds, we were talking about, what our plans were towards moving to a live service while the survey was kind of going on.
Yeah.
And some of you said, like, when it goes live, when it's not a recorded service, I'll be there, because you want to be able to see people speak and preach from the Word of God in person, and that's great. That's fine. This is your time. We encourage you to sign up and to make that happen. We realize that there's going to be a few of you who are still not going to be ready yet, and that's okay too. Don't feel like this is the only place that church is happening. We're going to continue doing the YouTube live stream from now until Jesus comes. And just big thank you to everybody that was a part of that, and the funding that was in place for making all that happen. So this is where we're at, and this is kind of moving forward. So
and we know that when we talk about a limited space available, some people, I think it's kind of human nature to push against limits a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the ways that's been helpful for me to think about that is I think about that number 50 as a little bit like a speed limit. The province goes around and they post up speed limit signs all over every highway and byway. And interestingly enough, when not marked, it's 50 kilometers an hour, right? Within a city, within a town. And I know a lot of us, we see that sign on the side of the road and think, it says 50. I could do 60 without getting a ticket, or right? And there's part of us that goes, yeah, but what's the real number, right? What's the I can go that fast without getting in trouble number? And then every now and then a government representative, someone who speaks to the issues, will come on and remind us gently that that is a maximum. And when that's an ideal conditions maximum. And when it's snowy or rainy or foggy, you should reduce your speed. And one of the ways that our church leadership has approached that, we've gone, okay, the province says 50 is a maximum. We're not going to treat that like a speed limit and go, yeah, but we'll push it. We'll pack in 60. We kind of look at that and go, with everything that's going on in the world, that's not only a maximum, but it's a maximum when it's snowing. And we're gonna back up from that a little bit and reduce our speed so that we've got margins, so that we can hit, we've got longer time to stop, as it will. We can keep ourselves from spreading and skidding and all of that. We just need a buffer. And so you might come on a Sunday morning and you might be sitting there and you might be looking around going, oh, I don't see 50 people. Well, there's a good reason for that. And it's all about margins. It's about the fact that the virus is spreading in our community. It's not just that's a thing for Vancouver or Ontario.
And I remember in August, we were down to 6 cases for a little while. And that was really good. And we were excited. Yeah, go BC. That was, let's call that, ideal conditions, slightly rainy day. Maybe a little bit cloudy. As it creeps up around us, as it's going through schools and different places, different businesses, the snow is piling up, and you are only going to hurt yourself and others when we just increase that speed more and more and push up against that and push other people around on the road too.
So all the more reason to encourage you to sign up early. Because we want you to have the opportunity. And also, hey, we've been full last 2 Sundays without knowing that, without people coming, knowing that it's going to be fully live. Though I suspect some people knew this last Sunday. We'll see what this Sunday holds. maybe now that, because people are going to turn Coffee Talk on Thursday morning and have their coffee and watch and go, I better sign up right now.
Yep.
And that's great. We're looking forward to spending time with you on Sunday. Maybe you'll be at home still and you'll watch this right before the service, and that's awesome too.
Yeah.
And then the week after, you might. So it is one of those things. The word's getting out. I mean, you said we just decided. That doesn't mean like we decided like last Wednesday. This has been in the plan since June, and it's just now all the pieces of the puzzle were well enough there that we can actually, just take the last push and figure out the last couple of pieces as we go. But it's there, and so that doesn't mean that the sermon's always going to be live, because we've been talking with some of our missions partners and stuff who might beam in we might have a pre-recorded sermon hopefully and get them involved in the service that way too. But what it does mean is that on Sunday morning the worship team's all here and the tech crew are all here and everybody is in the building worshiping together.
Even with that, like so you would look out here and say, well, that's not 50 chairs. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's the other side of all of this as well too, is that we still want to be above reproach. And so a lot of that is going to include the fact that all the people that we had here on a Wednesday night, they're now coming on a Sunday morning to do sound and video and worship team and front door greeting and live stream audio, and there's a lot of different jobs and positions, and so it's important that we still also make sure that there's room for them as well too, because if they weren't here, then nobody gets to see the service, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
There's a lot of nuance there. I know, but that's important to us, and it's important for us to keep safe and to be good stewards of the people that are around us.
Yeah.
And I think that's really we've been saying it since March. Mm-hmm. So I feel like in a lot of ways we're talking to the choir too.
Yeah,
right?
Probably we are. And we recognize that. And
that's
so we
good.
Thank you for your patience.
That's good, because we also appreciate that you've come on this whole long journey with us.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep going with it too.
Yep, absolutely. And one last thing then before we move on. I hope this doesn't gross anyone out. My last few masks have been ones like we're a little like unsettled by all the garbage we find in the street, and so I won't say who in my family keeps finding these like cloth reusable masks just like in the gutter. So if you want to know where my last few masks have come from, soap kills it. Great, yeah, awesome. Anyways, but what I'm looking for is I feel like I need a festive mask. I need like a Christmas mask. Like I want the ugly Christmas sweater of a mask, and if it says like "spread the cheer, not the Rona," that would be like brilliant. And so.
What we should actually also do is like have one that has like a Santa beard attached to it.
Do you remember?
To like go and like you go to talk, but it's still masked. Right?
Yes, that would be great.
That would be interesting.
Do you remember a few years ago? What did they call them? Like beardicles or whatever. Like the little ornaments that you could get to hang in your beard was a big.
I never.
You never saw that? Oh,
no.
It's been floating around the internet for a few years now. Not a huge thing, but like one of those like quirky. So I've never met anyone who's done it, but I would love a mask that just looks like it's the only way I'm going to have a Christmas beard. Would be a mask that is a beard. It's the only way.
I'm sure we have a few.
Anyways,
seamstresses that are on that already.
If anyone sees just a beautiful, ugly Christmas sweater of a mask. And bonus points if it says "spread the cheer, not the Rona." Let me know where I can find one, and I'd be forever grateful because I feel like that's what we need this time of year. Is just let's take this COVID thing and let's just say, you know what, it's not going to define us, it's not going to defeat us, and we're gonna make the best of it and just have some fun at Christmas. And so that's where we're at today. I think my eyes are on that. Let's make this the most uniquest Christmas ever, and just like if it can't be normal, it might as well be cheesy, and then let's do it up.
That's a good line for 2020.
Yeah, well, maybe that should have been our theme all along, but some of us thought it was going to end sooner than it has. And but anyways, on that note, thanks for spending time with us. I think we're out of topics for the day. Yeah. We're going to finish the rest of our Better Than Tim Hortons, and we'll see you Sunday, if not sooner.